Hi guys, in this section I will introduce the real-world exercises which are commonly used in data analysis as well as asked in the interview. We will start from the basics and go up to the advanced ones. This is the first part, so in this part I will quickly cover these questions and find the best practical approaches for solving them. So first I will import my dataset and the library. I'll import pandas spd, then import my dataset df equals pd read csv. Going one step back, inside of the data folder, all of my files are located in this folder here, data, and I will pick up this file and paste it here after slash and call it here df.head. Okay, we have imported our dataset, and now we want to get a little bit information about our dataset. The first question is display the number of rows and columns of this data frame. How we should display it? We will just type in the df and type in the shape attribute and click shift enter, and it will print out 463 rows and 9 columns here. The second question will be how to get a short overview of your dataset, including the number of rows, columns, and data types. You might know that we could type in the df.info, and it will print out what the column names, the data types, and even the memory usage of this dataset here, including the number of rows and columns here. You could see it has just given the short information about our dataset here. This is also very useful to know. Okay, the next question will be displaying the top and last 10 rows of the dataset. Okay, how we would display them? We are just typing the df.head will be the first 10 rows like this one, and df.tail will be the last 10 rows here, these ones. See, and this question just says that combine specific rows into the data frame and reset the index. It means that we should combine these 10, the first 10 and the last 10 rows into a single data frame. You might have a data and you need to combine the first certain amount of rows and the last ones and just export it to your file by typing the to CSV. How we should use this? We will need to use what? The concat method in order to do this. First, let's see that I will define the df.head as a first 10 variable will be and run it, and the second will be this last 10 rows. We'll type in the last 10 equals df.tail. This will be the last. I have defined both of them. This one contains the first 10 rows while this one contains the last 10 rows, and now I want to combine them into a single data frame. In order to combine it, I will type in the combined df equals, this is just the data frame variable, pd, type in the concat method, and as a first parameter I will type in the first 10, and the last one will be what? The last 10. If I click and then if I just call it combined df, click shift enter, it will print an error because we have a syntax error here, first, last, and this one. And you can see that it has combined these datasets. It means the first and the last 10 rows, but we have a problem. We might have a problem with this index, and if we want to reset it, we are just adding what? The reset index method here by typing reset index, then type in the drop equals true and click shift enter. It will reset this index and will just print it in an ascending order. The next question will be combine specific rows into the data frame. This one, I have solved this one. I will just type it here, this one, and run it under this line. And the next question we will find all the unique team column values in a data set here. If I have a team column here, and if I want to just print out the team column values here, unique values, I will type in the df team and unique method here, like this one. If I click shift enter, it will print out all the unique values which are inside of this team column here, all the unique values here. It means that if these Boston Celtics are repeated 100 times, it just print it out once, and that's it. But unique method works only with one column. We can't just define the data frame like this one, df unique, and print out all the unique values for all columns. This would not work here. Even the number would not work. But instead of that, we are having the nunique method, which returns the number of unique values for one or multiple columns. And we will just type in the df and unique. And if I just run this one, it will print out all the unique elements, the number of unique elements in each column here. You can see team column has 30 unique items, these ones. It just counts it and print it out. And even instead of the data frame, we could pick up what specific columns here, like I have a column team and name. If I just define them, name, first one, the second one will be the team, and click shift enter. Now I mean combine the unique method here, unique and unique, click shift enter. It will print out the error because we have two columns here and we should add the one square bracket here, and you can see it will print out the new unique values for these columns. And the next question will be what is display the number of unique values in a team column. It means that we are just displaying the number of them, hence the unique values themselves. If this unique method just prints out the unique values, it just we want to display the number of unique values in a team column. In order to display it, we will just type in the df team. It does not matter, you could even type in the like this one. This is the structure is the same, and then you will add in the value counts and click shift enter, and it will print out the items, the values of this unique column and the number of those items or of those values inside of that column. You could see this one would work again. This structure is appropriate for the columns which have no spaces here, but I rarely use this approach. I mostly use this one, the last one, this one. Okay, the next one will be checking the number of null values in a dataset for one or multiple columns. In order to do that, I will type in the df. For example, I will pick up a column here. I just first print out this one, and then if I type in the one head, and I want to pick up one column as a team column or another column here, let's pick up this one, position, df position, and then I will type in the isnull. If I click shift enter, it will just print out false true statements based on their values here. If the value can contain some argument or something inside of this cell, it will just print out the false, otherwise true. But you could even sum it, and this corresponds to all criteria. It just checks the number of null values in the dataset for one or multiple columns. We have a null values and we have printed it out, and we could even pick up the whole data frame and checking the number of null values here is null. Click shift enter, and by summing it, and it will print out the number of null values inside of each column here. But instead of isnull, we could even use what? Isna. Isna works exactly the same as isnull here. Shift enter, you could see the result is the same. Then we could get the overall information about integer values from the data frame. Like integer, what do I mean the integer values? If I just try to pick up the data frame df.describe here, I will pick up the df.describe. It will pick up all the integer data typed columns here and give a short statistics about your columns here, and it will skip these string based columns here and pick up only the columns which contain the integer values. And the describe method just describes the overall statistics, the short statistics, I mean count, mean, and 25% and etc. It just gives the short overview of your integer values. You could even round it by typing the round to a 1 decimal point. Click shift enter. You can see this is a short introduction of your numeric data. We could even get the overall information about integer values from this data frame. This one, just this is a short introduction. Okay, the next question will be count the total number of not empty values for each row or column in a data frame. It means that if I type in df count, click shift enter, it will just print out the total number of not empty values for each row here. You could see 462 not empty values for each column here up to this college column, because if you remember we have 87 null values inside of the college column, and hence the number of non-empty values are 376. But for rows you are just typing the axis equals to 1, and if you could click shift enter, it will print out the number of not empty values for rows here. You can see 9, 9, 8, 9, etc. The next question will be the count the occurrences of unique values in a given column of a data frame. What does it mean? It means that you are just calling the how many unique values are inside of the team column. We have just covered it, I think, yes. And I will just retype it df, for example, type in the team. This question seems repeated value counts, right? Click shift enter. Yes, we have covered it already. Okay, the next question will be, let's find the number of times when the team column is equal to Boston Celtics. It means if I just print out the data frame here, and it says that find me the number of times when the team column is equal to Boston Celtics. Okay, this team column is equals to Boston Celtics. I will, if I want to print it out, I will type in df team equals Boston Celtics. Click shift enter. It will just print it based Celtics. You could see true, false statements, and if I just entail it with square brackets and type in the df, click shift enter, it will print out all the team rows with Boston Celtics values. But the question is just find the number of times when the team column is equals to Boston Celtics. The number of times you are just you could clearly see that 14 times it's just repeating these values inside of this data frame. But we could even do the same syntax in another way with the help of the query method. How we will type it, we will just type in the df query, and then inside of the query method I will type in the team equals to Boston Celtics. Inside of what? Single quotes, I will type in the Boston Celtics and click Shift Enter. It will print out the error because this one should be two equal signs, and you can see the result is the same. And we are just finding different approaches for the same result here. You could see with query method it just looks simpler than with this one. Like this one, you are just not calling the df 2 times, you are just calling it with 1 time. And we could even find it with the group by method by typing the df. If we want to type it again, the same, get the same result, but with the help of the group by, you will type in the df group by first. You will pick up what? The name of the column. Let's say that it will be the position here, position, and then you are just calling another method called get group, and type in the, for example, this one, PG. Click Shift Enter and copy and click Shift, paste it here. If you click the Shift Enter, it will just print out 94 rows with these PG values for this column, position column. You can see it also works the same. And for this Boston Celtics, it also works the same. Just you will need to rename the column name here, like this one. Instead of the position, you will put in the team, and instead of the PG, you will type in what? Boston Celtics. Click Shift Enter or run it. You will see the result is the same. Again, we could work it or find it with str contains method by typing the df team equals first df team concatenate with str contains. What should it contain? This value of Boston Celtics, right? Click Shift and copy it. If I just paste it here, click Shift Enter, it will just print out true, false. But if I convert or entail it with square bracket and print it out, it would just give an error and say NaN values. So when I use str contains method, I will have to make sure that this dataset does not have NaN values. We should remove it or fill it with something. I have used team column, and my team column might have what? NaN values. I will check it by typing the isnull sum. If it has, I will check it first. Yes, it has 1 NaN value. So in order to, I either have to drop it or fill it with something. I will not drop it. I will just fill it with the blank string or with empty string by typing the df team equals to df team and type it what? Filna method and empty string. I will first run this one and then run this one, and you could see it will again print the same result. As you can see, I have used many approaches for filtering a single column here inside of this data, and you would either pick up one of them or use either both of them or all of them. It's up to you, but I would recommend use this query or this one. These are just looks a bit simpler than this get group or the str contains method here. I will just prefer to use these simple methods here. This one, the simple terminology, and this query method. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel. Have a good day. Bye.